Yes, sir. I remember that very well.
And Chavis Williams is with us, former Alabama linebacker, the pride of Dora High School, and now we're excited to announce after 3 years as an assistant, not even 30 years old yet, and you're the head coach at Carbon Hill High School. Man, that's pretty good stuff, Coach. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. It's an honor, and I look forward to the challenge. And yes, I always tell these young men about my days down there at the Capstone, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Hey, and we're going to get to it. Believe me, national champion, SEC champion. But your high school coaching career, to still be, I think you turned 30 later this summer, but to be 29 years old and to get your first head coaching opportunity at such a young age, clearly it shows you've done a nice job, in the coaching ranks. But that's some guys wait till they're in their mid-30s, late 30s, sometimes even their early 40s before they get their first head coaching job. Give me some information and some insight into this opportunity and how it came about.
Okay, yes, correct. And as you know, I played a year and a half of professional ball, and as that came to an end, when I was in college, I knew I wanted to be a coach, just didn't know when. And I'm a big believer in God's timing, and He led me in that direction. And when I got done playing, I went back to my alma mater, Dora High School, and started as a volunteer assistant for my former head coach, Johnny Wright.
Yeah.
And he was a big positive influence and motivation to push me toward going back and getting all my qualifications to where I could coach. And so I helped him for 3 years. And when he retired, it's funny how the good Lord worked, man. He sent me to this place, Carbon Hill, Alabama, and I was kind of skeptical about it at first. And my first year here, I was the defensive line coach. And then the second year, we got a new head coach, and I got moved into the defensive coordinator position and kind of grew from there. And I always went by that I was, even on the coaching staff, I was going to compete with other coaches to see who can get in the building first. And, I learned a lot of that in college, to just compete and everything. And just to be the best assistant coach I could be to the head coach to make his job a little easier. And a lot of things fell into place, and now I'm with this opportunity.
Yeah, Carbon Hill in Walker County, Class 3A, Region 4. Last year, the football team went 5-5, and so not great, not terrible. What do you think your prospects are in your first season in 2019 as head coach?
Well, it's all it's all. Each team is different. Each season is different. And
you just missed the playoffs last year, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. We just missed the playoffs by, I think, a total of 4 points total.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple calls could have went our way and we get in. But to speak on those seniors, there was a great senior class. And for the upcoming year, it's whatever we do between now and when the season starts determines what's going to happen. And so far, the guys have been working hard. We had a great off season, first part of the off season. Finished up with spring ball. We put in a new, totally different offense from what we were doing. And we played Fultondale in the 4-quarter game.
Okay.
A half of varsity and a half of JV, and it went pretty good. And like I said, the next step is how hard we work from June the 3rd until July the 29th.
I hear you.
With our summer workout program.
Yeah, of course, we're very familiar with your region here in Tuscaloosa because, Gordo, Lamar County, Winfield, Hale County, Greene County, Holt, all in that region. Really tough region, particularly last year with Winfield and Gordo. Lamar County had a really good team. I guess that's the difficulty is you work to get better, but man, you've got some really strong teams in this region. Right.
Now, like I said, we know they're not going to shout down for us. We're not going to shout down for them, and we respect each opponent that we play. And you're right; those are traditionally real good football teams, and they are well coached too. And we're just trying to be the best Carbon Hill team we can be, And that's a daily grind. And when the chips fall, we just hope to be on the good end of it. But we're going to take it one day at a time, and it all starts with this summer.
You mentioned that, as the head coach, you're making some changes in how you're going to do things in terms of philosophy on the field. What are the biggest challenges when you go from being an assistant, and I know you're still learning them, but from being an assistant to being the head coach?
I think the biggest thing is now you in the seat the way everybody's asking you, because you have, the final calling of everything, which is still a group effort, but it's your it's your philosophy, and so you have to have all the answers for each question asked from the assistant. You have to make sure everything goes well. Have to be kind of a PR person, which I'm used to that, whatever. But but I'm tickled to death about having this opportunity, man, and hope to make the best of it.
Yeah, another thing you got going for you, you're in a community that that loves its high school football, Chavis. And I know as a coach, whether it's the college level, the pro level, the high school level, you want to be somewhere where football matters to the people, right?
That's exactly right. And like I said, ain't nobody gonna have more expectations for this program than me. And it's always good to have expectations because I wouldn't want it no other way. And about these kids around here, man, these are, I call them blue collar guys. They come to work every day. We just got really, really, really good, working hard young men of great character.
Well, I know you're excited, and we're looking forward to following your progress. And as you said, your mentor, Johnny Wright, he's one of the best, and it sounds like you still lean on him for advice. Am I right?
I do. That's correct. And also, I would like to mention the guy I'm going behind, Scott Curry, who I worked under the last 3 years. He has been an excellent leader. I have learned so much on the paperwork side of it. Also the stuff on the X's and O's. But dealing with the paperwork, dealing with how to mold young men, all of that stuff. That's what's special about it.
Nope.
Molding young men.
Nope. No doubt.
Of course, we all want to win a football game. That's
Yeah, at the end of the day, you gotta win some games. All right, let's backtrack and talk a little Bama and NFL. Now I can't remember, so you're going to have to tell me. Did Shula sign you or did Saban sign you?
Coach Saban.
Okay, so you came in Saban's first class there.
Correct.
Okay, you get to Alabama out of Dora. I remember you tall, just being honest, tall, skinny kid. I knew you had some athleticism. But you worked at it. I mean, you went. I don't know how much weight you gained while you were at Alabama, but you went from. I think you finished up. You probably were about 240 when you were done. What did you come in at weight wise?
Yes, sir. I come in at 205.
Okay. And so
yes, a little bit about that was I was very active, very very active in working and playing 3 sports, and I think they had a lot to do with me. My frame not being filled out, but when I got there and Coach Cochran, he really put me through the ropes in the weight room, and I appreciate him to this day for that. And just the his overall commitment to seeing guys for what they're going to be in the future, where they are now, and it really just opened my eyes. And I think a lot of the kids there now, when you have them in the 9th grade, you can kind of project what they're going to look like later on with hard work, and that's kind of how that went.
All right, you're there for the entire ride. That first season, you guys started out 6-2, and then the textbook situation, you finished 6-6 and won your bowl game to go 7-6 over Colorado in Independence Bowl. Nothing special. That next year, and we played the sack in the Clemson game. It started early with that huge upset of Clemson in 2008, and you ride it all the way to the SEC championship game. You get T-bowed. I like to say, you get beat in the fourth quarter, and then it sets up 2009. So you come off the disappointment of 2008. You knew you had a good football team. I've asked a lot of guys that played on that team, but I want to get your answer. How did you do it? I mean, how did you get so close in 2008 and take that pain and turn it into a perfect season in 2009 and Alabama's first national championship in 17 years?
Well, I think to start off is to piggyback on what you said about the transit, to go back a step farther from 2007 to 2008. The problem with 2007 was we had talent, and I don't think we had it. It's typical first year coach coming in, getting all this, his philosophy and stuff in, and the buy-in of guys was the biggest thing. And, you can kind of see how that translated over that year from a couple of things that was going on. And from 2008, guys started believing, and everybody started getting on the same page. And, of course, it helps with that very Coach Saban with the Julio Jones recruiting class, getting those guys around. And so we went that year, and we were kind of still not finding ourselves, and we we got hot, and like I said, upset Clemson and had a good year. A lot of things happened good, and I think the following summer, the summer of 2009, was when that championship was won. Leaders started stepping up, being vocal in summer workouts. They started, Rolando McClain to Mike Johnson, of the world. They started being vocal in workouts and players started holding each other accountable. Is what I'm trying to say, and that's what I think. I tell people all the time to this day, that's what that championship was won in that summer of 2009.
Chavis, all the great teams that Saban has had, 5 national championship teams, 6 SEC championship teams. They've been 14-0 twice. I know they've been, 11-0 a couple of times. I mean, they've been right there knocking on the door. But still, that 2009 team is the only Saban team at Alabama that finished it off completely undefeated. That's got. I know you're pulling for all the teams to continue to win, but that's got to be special for the guys that were part of that.
Yes, sir, and it's what makes it so special. Because it was such a drought in championships at the University of Alabama, and to win that one and to win the undefeated, that's special. And guys remember that for the rest of their life. I still communicate with guys weekly.
Chavis Williams with us, former Alabama linebacker, Baltimore Ravens linebacker, and now head coach at Carbon Hill High School. What happened in 2010? We hear Saban say all the time, it's hard to climb the mountain. It's more difficult to stay there. Because on paper, Chavis, let's be honest, coming off that 14-0 season in 2009, you had a lot of guys back. Going into the season, you guys were the best team in the country and started out that year looking dominant and wound up losing 3 games. How did that happen?
And it goes back to from the 2008 to get to that pivotal point, and then I guess you can say failed sort of the Florida game, and then not really focusing on the Utah game of 2008. I think you can say the same thing about after winning the championship. Have not been in that situation before. I'm coming off of all that success and not being able to handle it the right way, like Coach used to say. And I also think that we kind of got full of ourselves a little bit as a team overall. And from that year, as you can see, you can go check the history of the 2011 team. What did they do? They won it again. They learned from it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Chavis, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought I might have lost you there. All right. It's every kid that ever put on shoulder pads and a helmet's goal to play in the NFL. Very, very, very few do it. You went undrafted in the 2011 draft, but you didn't give up, and you got that opportunity to play in the National Football League with the Baltimore Ravens. What was that experience like?
Yes, sir. First off, all credit to University of Alabama, to my family. That's playing at the University of Alabama opens up doors. I'm not a fool. I understand that. So for me to even have a chance to make a team, all credit goes to those guys down there. And it was a situation. That was the year of the lockout, if you can remember.
I do.
So they had already had the draft, and I can't say exactly, but I want to say it was towards the end of July when it opened back up. And it's funny because I had actually took I don't know if you're familiar with, I had taken a test with Alabama Power trying to get a job with them because I had two younger boys I had to take care of, and I was looking for my future to go elsewhere. And it just so happened that I got a call 2 days after the lockout lifted from Baltimore and asked what they would love for me to come try out. And I hadn't really been working that hard in the weight room anymore because has been 2 months removed from the lockout. And I got up there and passed conditioning tests, and one thing led to another, and I ended up making the team. And I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. I learned a lot in that year and a half about myself and about just about life in general, as being a man, being able to handle responsibility, which leads to me what I can give back to these young men today.
Yeah. Just awesome, man. We're so proud of you and your success, and I always enjoy seeing guys that played, that understand what it takes, that have won championships, decide they want to give back. And I think high school coaching, I love the pro game, I love the college game, but buddy, this is where it's at. This is where you mold
sir.
Young men, and for you to want to do that, I think it says a lot about who you are, Chavis.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
And good luck. I know it's going to be tough, and we mentioned your region, but it'll be here before you know it. And thanks for jumping on with us this morning, and good luck and continued success.